Hey y'all, welcome back to the Guide Piper. Today I'm going to give y'all the answer to one of life's trickiest questions once and for all. You know, one question that people get hit with all the time is, do you perceive the glass as half empty or half full? And it boggles a lot of people's minds because everybody sees, both ways of looking at things, and it's hard to make a decision, or it just gives you more of an obvious insight into whether you're a positive thinker or a negative thinker and so forth. And the obvious answer to that question from a psychological standpoint, if you consider yourself to be any kind of positive thinker, would be half full. To me, I look at it half full, half empty as, are you grateful or ungrateful? If you see it as half full, I look at it as grateful for what you have. And if you look at life or a situation as half empty, to me, you're looking at it as ungrateful for what you don't have. And also, well, ungrateful for what you ungrateful for what you do have, and wanting more. So, from a psychological standpoint, the correct answer should be, if you're a positive thinker, half full. But, for me, I took a bunch of courses, and some math courses and some logic courses in college, so I decided to look at this and to test that answer out from a mathematical and from a logical standpoint. Make sure it's the right answer. So for mathematically, I said, well, let's just break this down into an equation. So if you've got two glasses there, and they both got 50% water in them, and the equation would be 1/2 E for empty equals 1/2 F, because you've got two glasses there. You've got a half empty one and a half full one. 1/2 E equals 1/2 F. And under math rules, basic math, you can multiply both sides of the equation by the same number, and it won't change anything. So if you multiply both sides of the equation by 2, you end up with 2 over 2 E equals 2 over 2 F, and then you can reduce the 2 over 2's down to 1 and just get rid of the 1. So, and it's E equals F. So mathematically, you could say, oh, an empty glass equals a full glass. But that didn't work for me. I said, I gotta do better than that. And I said, I have to properly assign values to my variables, my E and my F. Now, what are the proper values for an E and an F? I thought about my gas tank. Started thinking logically. Your gas tank in your car, it registers. It has an F at the top and an E at the bottom, and so it's very similar. And if do you perceive the way it's even marked out on there, 3/4 and 1/4 is in terms of fullness. 3/4 full, or 1/4 tank is 1/4 full. It doesn't say 3/4 empty down at the bottom or something like that. So logically, it makes sense that to think in terms of fullness. So half full, that's the right answer. Then I started thinking, what are the values of E and F mathematically? You got to properly assign values to these variables. And obviously, if you fill the tank full, it's F equals 100%. And if you have it empty, it's like 0%. So the values for E and F are 100 and 0. So you go back to the original equation to find out our mistake. The mistake is 1/2 E does not equal 1/2 F, because 1/2 E is 1/2 times 0, which equals 0, does not equal 1/2 times 100, which is 50. So 0 does not equal 50. So that shows you that there's no such thing really as a half empty to begin with. It's like if I gave you a gas tank that was empty, if you needed some gas, and if I gave you an empty gas can and said, here, take half of this, you'd think I was nuts. You take half of nothing, you get nothing. It's like that old song, half of nothing leaves nothing, but you gotta have something if you want to be with me. And so here, think about what you've got. You've got something. You've got it half full. So logically, any way you want to look at it mathematically, the answer is one half. I see the glass is half full. I'm a positive thinker, and it's really, there's no such thing as half empty. It's either half full or it's empty. All right, there's your answer. Guide Piper to y'all.